Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. This is round 2 of the ORL Season 1. We are racing in Bahrain this coming Sunday, but this is free practice 1. We're going to see what the drivers can do with their setups, their cars. Let's see what kind of performance tweaks we can see. We've got a few new drivers on the track, but most of all, I would like to introduce who's going to be taking the second spot in the commentary box for the rest of the season. Silly, welcome aboard. It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much. Can't get rid of me.
Well, of course we can. So, why have you decided to join me in the commentary box and step down from your role as Mercedes driver?
I got fired. That was terrible. No, I'm joking. No, I enjoyed myself yesterday. It was great fun. I think the viewers enjoyed our commentary together, and we worked quite well. So, rather than trudge around at the back of the grid, let's sit in here and tell everybody how bad everybody else is.
That sounds like an absolute plan. And taking your seat this evening, the new replacement driver at Mercedes is Craig, a new driver to the series, let alone the game. He's kind of getting the grips of it.
He's had the game for about 5 minutes, hasn't he?
Something like that, yeah. He does have some talent with racing, so it should be quite fun to watch him kind of grow as a driver. And, you know, we get the pleasure of watching him grow into that Mercedes seat. I do believe, though, he's being tutored this evening, cheekily, by the Alfa Romeo driver, Welshie.
Yeah, a bit of a collusion between a Ferrari engine and a Mercedes car, but yeah, it should be interesting to see how fast Craig picks this up and if he can pump in some good times.
Yeah, it'll be really good to see. Again, it's only practice 1, so will we see the drivers going full out on fast lap sessions? We don't know. Maybe they'll just spend the entire 60-minute session just, getting the cars ready for the long run stints. Also this evening, we have a reserve driver joining us for the Red Bull. This is Chaza, another new member of the team. It should be fun to watch him get to the grips, see where he is on track compared to everybody else. Just going to see, and we have Xander as well, who is the replacement Renault driver, while Panda is out with technical issues. So 3 new faces on the grids.
Yep, three new faces, 3 faces that we don't know what kind of skill level they're at. That would be interesting to find out, see how well they can drive, times they can post, and get to grips with this tricky Bahrain surface.
Indeed, and as you said, Bahrain is a tricky track, not the easiest of places to visit when you're a brand new driver, especially to the series itself. It's tight, it's technical, but it's fast and sweeping at the same time. It's an excellent, fun track to drive. Reminds me a bit like a roller coaster ride.
It is an extremely fun track to drive, but you've really got to be confident in the vehicle.
Oh, absolutely agree. If you've got some kind of unwavering confidence in it, you're going to find yourself in the wall pretty quick, because at points it is a very narrow track with not much runoff.
Indeed, yes.
So we'll see how the opening session goes. We are just waiting for a few more drivers to turn up. We will be starting the session in roughly 7 or 8 minutes time. As we see on the stream at the moment, we do have the previous race highlights up from the round 1 in Australia. That was quite an eventful race last night, was it not?
It was indeed, yeah. And if you scroll down the page a little bit, you'll find a link to the YouTube channel where you can watch the stream highlights if you actually did miss the first round of the Australian Grand Prix.
Indeed, and that is the full stream highlights as well. I do believe during the week we will get together and post up some shorter highlights of all the action, and there was plenty of it, especially towards the end, and not forgetting the unfortunate incident with Blaine basically blocking pit lane, unfortunately for him.
What a finale.
It was indeed. That was a fantastic race. Probably one of the best races I've seen in a long time.
It was great to be part of it. Great to be in the commentary box to finish it off as well. It was good fun.
Yeah, it was indeed good fun. Bit of a shame to see you kind of drop out so early. It looked like you were going well, going fast to begin with, but that is racing, as you said yesterday. It's the ups and downs. Most of the downs when you hit the wall, but there's not much you can really do about that.
Yeah, my hands stopped hurting now. I haven't. I'm punching my steering wheel.
That's it, doing a bit of a total wolf and taking your anger out on the...
On my desk, yeah, the monitors were bouncing.
There's a few drivers, I believe, who'll be going for some redemption drives this weekend. Stadium, for one, obviously he got a really unlucky start after a flying qualifier. He really he did the luck of the draw. He went out first. He got the best time in the changing conditions. and unfortunately his race didn't go well for him at all. Him, Blaine, I believe there's a couple of others that kind of they didn't get that fade as well. He had that accident near the end where he lost his front wing, which brought out the second safety car, which started the chain reaction of hilarities from our point of view anyway, not from the driver's point of view.
Indeed, Hayes was another one. Brandy binned it after the safety car.
Oh, that's right, yeah, poor Brandy. He's living really up to his role of performing really fast, really well on the qualifying sessions, but just seems to lack it in the consistency through the entire race itself. So let's see if he can redeem himself this weekend.
Indeed, yes. And hopefully Ima Stadium doesn't come into the pits as often. I think his crew needs a rest after yesterday.
Indeed, 4 pit stops. They've already done basically half a season's worth of work in the one go. But a fair result for him. I believe it was 6th place he finished in despite all those mishaps. So you can't take that away from him.
No, exactly. But he will be wanting to do better today.
Absolutely agree. Well, again, today we're probably going to see a lot of the drivers just testing long-run setups. I do believe from what we've heard in the Alfa Romeo camp with Welshie that they are going to be mainly concentrating on long runs, trying to figure out the balance of fuel and tyre wear. Because, the race isn't won in one lap in this case. Bahrain, it's nasty on the tyres.
Yes, it is indeed. The surface is very abrasive. It's actually a track surface that's been brought all the way from a quarry in England.
Oh, I did not know that, to be honest with
you.
Does explain
indeed,
why it's a bit dirty.
Yeah, indeed it was. But it's an extremely grippy surface. That's why they imported it all the way from fair old England.
Ah, that makes sense. Thanks for that little bit of knowledge. But as you said, that it's a very grippy, it is an abrasive circuit, so the cars can absolutely fly down here if the driver has the confidence in the machine. But as stated, they will go through tyres like nothing on earth. I'm maybe suggesting 8 to 9 laps on the softs for a good run. We could see some drivers who burn through them, maybe stop lap 6 or 7 and possibly go into the hards for a 2-stint race.
Indeed, Sector 2 is one to watch, especially for tyre wear, I think, because it's a very fast, twisty section with some hard braking areas. And if you get it wrong a little bit, your car is going to slide, and that's going to destroy your tyres quicker than quick.
Yeah, absolutely. I was cheekily went out and did a couple of practice runs myself this morning. I seen some of the guys post up some times, and I couldn't help myself.
I've got your time here if you'd like me to divulge it.
Oh, please embarrass me in front of everyone. Why don't you?
Yes, you're actually 5th on my friends list. I haven't got all the drivers yet currently, but I've got all of their time trial times so far. And yours was a 1:26.796, putting you in 5th place of my friends out of the league.
Oh, I'll absolutely take that. I'm not going to say no. As long as I was ahead of Welshie, I don't really care where I end up.
You was, but not by much. You did a 1:26.965.
And for someone that's on a controller, I've got to give him credit. He's got quicker. He's got a lot quicker since he started racing. Seriously, I'd say about a week ago. He's pushing himself, and if I'm not careful, he's going to pass me.
Yeah, we're sitting around on our butts too long.
That's it. At some point or another, I may just have to find someone to cheekily take my position for a race, just so I can put him in his place.
I'm sure we'll do that in the weeks as we progress anyway.
We'll definitely see how it goes. You know what it's like. You'll sit in this position, you'll love being in the commentary box, everybody loves hearing you. Excuse me about that. But you'll get to the point where you're watching the racing and you hold on to your wheel or your controller and you're just going to be like, oh, I want to be on that track right now.
Well, yes, I felt like that this afternoon, and I thought while I was checking out the time trial times of the drivers that I've got on the friends list, I thought I'd have a couple of laps myself, and I'm not going to embarrass myself by saying my time. It was nowhere in the ballpark to anybody else on my list. It was a 1:28.
It's still not bad.
And some change.
And some change. At least you're honest with yourself. It's always room for improvement. I do believe I just kind of threw a quick setup together, did 3 laps to get my time. And then that
was on my pad as well, it wasn't on my wheel.
Oh, well, there you go. There's your disadvantage there. Even though this game is rather controller friendly compared to its predecessors.
It is. I struggle with the turn-ins with the pad.
I've been using wheel for years now, and I cannot go back. It's it's one of those things. Once you've had a wheel, you just can't use a controller anymore.
Exactly.
So at the moment, we are now waiting on the last of the drivers arriving. We should be kicking off in the next couple of minutes. Excuse me. So at the moment, I'll just run through who we have with us right now. We have Welshie in the Alfa Romeo, alongside Weasel in the other Alfa Romeo. We have Simpans, aka Walter White, on the forums in the Racing Point. We've got Fade in the Haas, Caparaz in the Williams, the kind of highlight of quite a lot of controversy at the end of the last race, but I believe he's learnt his lessons and he is just looking to improve basically his driving and learn the game a lot better. So kudos to him to keep on trying. We have our previous race winner in Nexus in the AlphaTauri. I'm looking towards him for a fast lap again today. I believe he's definitely in contention to win this championship this year. If he keeps
He is. Let's see if he's a one-race wonder or if he can continue this on.
Exactly, it's going to be fun to watch him, that's for sure. And we have our reserve driver, Chaza, a Mercedes reserve driver, who is cheekily enough taking one of the spots, I believe Scotty's space in the Red Bull this evening. Craig, the new Mercedes AMG driver, he's going to be starting up as well. We have Paul Bova in the Racing Point, is in the second Racing Point this evening, hoping to look to redeem himself after not so great a race last time out. We have Goblin in the McLaren, the new driver is Alex in the Renault, King of Kart in the Ferrari. We have Bwandi in the McLaren, hopefully he's going to finish the session this time. We have Hayes in the second Ferrari, so the brothers are in. Stadium is there in his Williams, so we've got quite a few drivers that have turned up just for free practice this evening. It's going to be fun to watch.
We have indeed, yes.
So we're just getting the session underway now, so all the drivers have arrived, and we'll be slowly making our way to the pit lane to get this started. Do you have any kind of thoughts on, is there any drivers that you're going to be concentrating on today? Do you feel, there's going to be some vulnerabilities from a few? What's your take on the field at the moment after one race?
The boys that think they're going to do well in this season, I don't think they're going to be doing their best times. Certainly not in any of the practice sessions. They're going to be sandbagging for the race. Don't want to give too much away. So I think we're mainly just going to see people not trying to post great times. I think they're just going to go out, learn the tyres, see how long they're going to last. Sector 2 is probably going to be a sector that I'm going to be watching quite a lot. That's a difficult sector, and it'll be fun to watch them sliding around. As we got somebody out on track straight away.
We do indeed. We have Bwandi on. I do believe I'm having some sound issues at the moment from the game. Let me just quickly check some things. This is weird. We are not getting any noise from the cars.
Oh, it's a shame.
There we go. We have fixed it. Just a slight technical issue.
There we go. Beautiful.
Oh, this is why we need somebody. I'm just going to quickly deal with the
bot.
Bot, yep.
Well, anyway, here we are. We're watching Brandy out on his outlap. As we discussed earlier in the beginning of the stream, he's one to watch. He can put in fast times, but it's his consistency that's letting him down at the moment. Maybe this 1 hour practice session can instill some confidence in him.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say the same thing. He really needs some confidence at the moment after, what was a poor running in Australia after such a good qualifying session as well. And he had hyped himself up, which is quite the shame. He is a talented young driver, as he goes a little bit wide there. We've lost Hayes already. I think he's having some technical issues as well. But yeah, as I was saying, he's a gifted young driver. He just needs to, string things together. And, at that point, we might see some good from him.
Hopefully so, yeah. I'm just on board with Craig at the moment as he's coming around following Welshie.
Indeed, I'm just following Welshie at the moment. So he's training Craig for this event. This should be fun to see.
I mean, he's looking quite smooth at the moment.
It is. Is that Craig on the mediums? Craig is on the hards. He's going for a long run. Let's hope he's filled his car up.
We'll find out in a couple of laps' time.
Indeed, it'd be a shame if he's only put 10 laps worth of fuel in. Next,
and Brandy's back into the pits.
So he's only just going out for a quick burner lap.
Oh, no, sorry, that's Goblin. Goblin's come back into the pits.
So just running on board with Nexus at the moment. As he's following Paul Buba. Wonder if he's going for a fast lap.
Our championship leader out on the Super Softs.
He is indeed. That's a lovely line he's taking around there.
He's in that dirty air distance from the car in front, though, so you might see a bit of a downforce washing.
It's possible, yeah. As Wandy sets the initial time of a 1:29.230. We know he's capable of going faster than that. We're looking at times this afternoon, I think, of a 1:27 to a 1:26, I believe. With Xander then taking the top spot with a 1:27, as we have Nexus coming across the line with a 1:28.2. King of Kart with a 1:27.8. So there's a few drivers trying to go out and get some fast ones.
Yeah, they're all sandbagging.
They don't want to really show us what they're capable of doing.
Everybody that's set a time so far, apart from Alex, has all been on the hard tyre, I believe.
Yeah, we've had a couple of soft runners, but I think you're right there that they're not really pushing it, are they?
Damage is on in this practice session as well, so I imagine nobody wants to bin it into the wall in the first 5 minutes and be out for the rest of the session.
That's exactly it. So there we go. We're going to leave up that. I didn't realise we could do that. We've got the lap data above us as well, so we've got Simps coming into the pits. Pierre Grief has joined.
I have no idea who that is.
No idea in the slightest. So Goblin's on his outlap. There we go. Here goes Welshie. He is currently in Sector 1.
Out on a set of super softs, so he's going for a... He did say earlier he's going to do some just some timed laps, just to see how long these tyres go.
Yeah, I think that was it. He had the same kind of frame of mind myself when I was discussing this earlier on. The softs could go off early, so he's probably going to look to see how his driving style suits this tyre around this track. And if he can possibly get it, maybe stretch out to the 8-9 lap mark, maybe even 10. It would really set him up well for a one-stop strategy around here.
He has said that this track is one that he really enjoys driving.
So Welshie at the moment still in Sector 1 with a time of 58 seconds.
That is something I need to look at, and I haven't noted down any sector times of drivers.
Oh, he's going for it at the moment. He's now currently in Sector 3. He's down in 8th. Well, I think he set a time on his outlap, but then he kind of cooled himself off, so we'll see what he does here. We have 1:31.471. I think he's taking it easy, just trying to get some race laps out of these tyres.
I think the same thing. He's probably high on fuel as well.
Yep, as we see.
I think that was Brandy.
It was Brandy taking a shortcut. I think
Good. Blaine's managed to join.
Is he joined? He should be able to take his car, I hope. Though I don't know because the session's already started. We're on board with Craig right now. He's on another outlap with another set of hard tyres. Still obviously getting used to that new machine that he's got his hands on. Ooh, that was not a good place to be right there. I do believe he was just in the way of Weasel there.
Yeah, it's difficult getting to grips with everything that's going on around you when you're still trying to get confident in the car.
That's it, yeah. I want to watch Craig just for the next lap, just to see how he fights the car. I did notice down that straight he wasn't activating the DRS either, so I wonder if he's forgot how to set that one up.
There's a lot of buttons to remember to set up, especially with the Formula One car.
Oh yeah, it's not just your DRS, you've got all your fuel management to deal with, you have your ERS systems. And you're right, Blaine has made it into the session. It does seem like in a practice everyone can just drop in and take their positions. Craig has the DRS open, he's remembered where the button is, fantastic. So he's on his flying lap. And he's racing one of the McLarens at the moment, a little bit of a cheeky corner cut, and he's backed off of that, unfortunately. So, not much confidence from Craig so far. As he just backs off, I think he's going to do another cool down lap and go again. See who else is currently on track. Pure grief.
Nexus is just at a 127.3.
Ooh.
Oh no, he did that earlier, didn't he? He's in the pits now.
He's in the pits, so he's obviously set that up. Because he did do a slower lap. He wasn't at 128 beforehand. I want to have a look.
Again, on the hard tyres.
King of Kart has left the session. I think the brothers are having some issues at the moment, connection-wise.
Either that, or they keep going and turning each other's computers off.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Knowing those two boys.
Who is... I'm still trying to find out who this pure grief is.
He's jumped into a Renault.
Is this Bert? Has Bert changed his name?
It could well be.
I am confused, but we'll just go with it. He's on a hard lap time at the moment, and no time set, so he must have cut the track somewhere. Blaine's getting ready for a lap. We're just going to follow Stadium, who's currently in second, 3/10 behind Nexus, as he flies through sector 2. He's on the back straight, got that Williams absolutely screaming. That would be something nice to see in Formula 1, as the Williams up at the front again.
It would indeed. Can Jensen Button help bring them back into the to the top of the grid?
We can hope so with, is it Dorian Capital that are now the new owners of Williams? It's going to be good to see what they've got planned over the next few years. I do believe they did say something about 2021 is not their focus, but Stadium going real wide there. But yeah, it's a 2022 focus they want to do on the brand new car design and with the brand new regulations.
Indeed, I think that's going to be the way for most of the lower end of the grid cars this season.
What do you think? Mercedes dominance for next year again?
Depends who's in the car.
This is a very true point. I do believe it will be Hamilton that will be in the car. I can't see it any other way. I think they're just doing this. It's a bit of a publicity stunt, let's put it that way.
Well, to get everybody to keep talking about the Mercedes.
Well, yeah, which is a bit silly considering the fact, you know, it's Mercedes. Who's not going to be talking about them?
I really hope Lewis is still in the car, because I don't think he has another seat anywhere else. I don't think anybody will be able to pay his wages anywhere else.
Yeah, absolutely not. And, you know...
but stranger things have happened in Formula 1.
This is very true. This is very true indeed. I mean, Fernando Alonso's back. Who saw that one coming?
Yeah, he's a young driver.
Yeah, I mean, what a young drivers program he had. Absolutely left the competition behind. It's going to be great to see what the young Fernando Alonso can really show us where the future of the sport's going.
It's got to be the only world champion to ever drive in a young driver's test program, surely?
I think so. I think you're right there, yeah. It's the irony of that.
Yeah.
Chaza, for his first run out in the Red Bull, he's faster than... Chaza is faster than Welshie. With Craig's finally set a time, he is 13 seconds off the pace, but it did look like he was still just getting to grips with the car. He's just going round and round at the moment, so I do think he's climatised himself to the track. I
think that's
pushing.
probably for the best.
Indeed. Well, Scott has joined, so it looks like we all have 2 Red Bulls on the circuit.
That's good to know.
So we're just following Chazza here.
Stadium's come back into the pits along with a racing point of Simpans.
Oh, so...
I mean, tweaking some settings.
Probably is 3/10 behind. I do believe Stadium's lap was invalidated. He did go wide. It's almost like a lack of concentration. He kind of ran off on the main street, which would have taken his time away, unfortunately. It didn't look like he was going blisteringly fast compared to Nexus either, so those 2, I believe, are just going to be duking. Oh, we've got a Mercedes round. Blaine has lost some of his front wing. He has lost it in Sector 3.
He's lost both end plates on either side.
He's done something. He's bounced off the wall. I saw the Mercedes. I feel bad at saying this, but I instantly thought it was Craig.
Yeah, we both jumped down to look, didn't we?
And then I noticed he was in the pits. But yeah, that's that Mercedes hurting. But Blaine, he's not having much luck. He's
only just got home from work. He's literally drove home, jumped straight on the computer, so it's probably going to take him a few laps to acclimatise.
This is very true. He's probably just like, can I not get my dinner first? But into the pits goes the second Mercedes to get that front wing changed out. One of the Ferraris is coming out. So Hayes is already on track, so this is King of Kart leaving the pit lane. Or Little Hayes.
As he is affectionately referred to, yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite fun to see that the Scuderia is being driven by 2 brothers this year.
And rumour has it that I may be taking over the team principal role of that team.
Oh, so jumping ship from Mercedes to Ferrari.
Yeah, I can't go into all the contractual details, but yeah, it's on the cards, I think.
This should be an exciting prospect. Will you be still in the commentary box, or are you going to sit there full time in the Ferrari pit box?
No, I'll let the boys do their thing, and I'll stay up here. I'll talk to them at other times of the week.
So it sounds like really you're just going to be there signing papers for them.
Yeah, and when they win the championship, I can at least say that I won as a team principal.
You know what? My money would be on Red Bull for that one this year, especially for the team spirit that they've got.
Indeed, or the team of the week last week, the Haas.
The Haas boys, indeed. Currently only 1 on track, and it's Fade, and he's currently 2.853 seconds off the pace. But here's some news. Our new driver, Alex, in the Renault, replacing Panda, is currently only half a second off the pace right now, sitting in 4th.
And on the medium tyres.
And on the medium tyres, indeed. Let's have a little look to see exactly what tyres he's had. Yep, he's had 2 laps on those mediums. So far, Weasel has done the most laps, 6 on his mediums. We've had Fade and Pierre, 4 on the hards. Craig's had 2 on the hard tyres. He's back out again.
Good to see.
Bwandy has had 6 laps on the hard compound tyre, currently sat in 6th place, 1.892 seconds off the lead. Oh, and there we go, we can switch to their best lap tyres, which was, Alex actually set his on the software, he's done 3 laps.
Ah, that will explain why he's so equal.
Exactly, so the top 9 drivers, he goes wide there, have all set their times on the soft compound.
Nexus did his fast lap on a medium step. Did he? No. It was soft.
Yep.
Still trying to learn these spectator menus. My apologies.
It's alright, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm finding new things and going, ooh, that looks cool. This Nexus goes for a fast run on the mediums now. Either that or he's going for a kind of longer stint to see what these tyres are capable of. Now, before the ladies and gentlemen are confused, yes, there does say there are 72 minutes left on the timer in the top left-hand corner of the screen. However, we are only running 60 minutes today, and knowing the game settings, we'll big slide there from stadium. We have a Sector 1 yellow flag. As I was saying, yep, we are only running 60 seconds. So when that timer hits 30 minutes, we will be clocking off for the evening. Craig is currently 2 seconds down on his fastest time on this other set of hards as he goes through Sector 1.
Be interested to speak to Craig later on and see how well he's getting to grips with things and how he's finding it.
I do believe his other issue is he's had no practice around Bahrain. A lot of these drivers, if not all the drivers, who've done several laps around here in other leagues, general multiplayer, are in their career modes. For Craig, I believe this is brand new territory for him. This is an unknown track.
Indeed, yeah. I believe he did a couple of time trials on Bahrain earlier. He set a time of 1:32.6. But yeah, it's still not enough practice.
Indeed. He just needs to, you know, just keep his head down, keep calm, get used to the car. He'll learn in time. We weren't expecting miracles out of him this weekend. But he's putting the effort in, and that's what counts.
Exactly. And once we can give him some tips like his camera angles and get him a camera angle that makes him more comfortable in the car.
Exactly.
Because that is a big thing with this game. I mean, when I sorted my cameras out, I gained like 0.7 of a lap time, which is massive.
And that I hope, like, I imagine, he's just gone seriously deep there into turn 1. But he did set a 1:38 there, so 2.5 seconds quicker than his slowest time on the hards. A little bit of time to make up compared to his obviously overall fastest time in the time trials, but he's done a good effort nonetheless.
He's going in the right direction.
He is indeed. He's just
she has currently done 7 laps on them super softs.
Oh, we have a disqualification from Craig from driving the wrong way.
Oh dear.
Oh. He did not need that.
No. Unless he's got that frustrated with running deep into turn 1 that he's just said, sod it.
I think he may have tried to turn 180 and come back onto the track at turn 1 instead of just going round the first chicane and rejoining that way into turn 3, but...
the finicky penalty system of F1 2020.
Yeah, you said it. If you want, if Craig's available, you can bring him up here. We can ask him what happened, if you would.
Okay, I can try that.
As well, she's back into the pits. He's done well on those tyres.
And here's Craig for you.
Craig, how you doing? Welcome, first of all, to ORL for your first practice session. Unfortunately, it seems to have ended pretty early for you. I think we might be having some technical... There he is.
Yep, I had a bit of a connection issue. I was expecting to lock up in that corner, and when I did eventually frame, I was facing the wrong fucking way.
Apologies for the language there, guys.
Yep. Unfortunate, Craig. Yeah, we were following at the point of lockup. We were noticing you were slowly improving on the hard compound tyre. Could you talk us through what your runs were going to be today? Was it just going to be long running? Were you going to try some faster times later in the session?
I was eventually going to try 4 faster times later on in the session, but for the time being it was just getting to grips with the car, getting to grips with the track. Just kind of getting my bearings.
Yeah, we could see that. Obviously, you've doesn't look like you've had much experience around Bahrain itself, so this must be
very, very little.
Quite a large learning curve for you. It looks like we've lost King of Kart as well from the session.
We have indeed, yeah. I didn't see any flags or anything like that, so I don't know where in the sector he did that.
Not entirely sure, unless he's just decided to park up in the garage for the day, but I am looking, it does, yeah, his Ferrari's in the garage, so it looks like he has just ended his session early today.
Maybe those internet problems are stretching across the country.
Possibly so, yeah. I can see Craig's Mercedes in the garage, the mechanics are working on it, but that car will not be going any further tonight. Well, thanks very much for joining us, Craig. We'll let you get back to obviously speaking with Welshie. You've obviously got some more things that you want to learn and talk about in relation to moving forward. Commiserations to the way that you've left the session today. But again, thanks very much for taking the time to come speak to us today.
Yep, no problem. I will catch you guys soon.
Thanks very much. Mate. So, that highly unfortunate for Craig there, silly.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. Internet issues are always a problem when you're playing an online game. The same with the Ferrari boys, both struggling with an internet connection.
Indeed, yeah, and as I said, yeah, he needed kind of all the practice he can get at the moment, but he's kept it humble. You could hear the frustrations in his voice. He wanted to, really make an effort in this session, but it's just the way the dice rolls, unfortunately.
It is indeed, yes. I'm just going to jump down and speak to the Ferrari boys a second.
Yep, that is no problem at all. In the meantime, we're just going to sit here and follow Alex as he goes around his outlap on the medium tyres this time round. A lot of the drivers just look like they're relaxing, they're just finding their feet on this Bahrain circuit, trying to get their setups perfected. We've got Nexus back out as well, Stadium's out. So basically the top 9 drivers are out at the moment. Paul Bova's in the pits. We have everybody else out as well at the moment. Caparaz. Oh, sorry.
Sorry to interrupt. I've got a interview with Little Hayes.
Oh, excellent. Just bring him into the room. We'll see what's happening from his end.
He's with us now. Little Hayes, what actually happened? We missed it on the camera.
Coming through the sort of fast right-left chicane after about turn 4, I think it is, down towards the middle hairpin. I got on the curb on the inside, which put me on the outside, and I just lost the rear and sailed straight into the barrier.
Oh, unlucky. And you were, you've had yourself a good session. You've been putting your brother to shame, sitting there in 4th place. I'm assuming that you're finding it quite comfortable in the Ferrari at the moment. The setup's quite good. The tyres are quite good.
Yeah, it's all good from my end. I mean, I can't complain. It's not my favourite track, but considering, it's looking all right, really.
Well, that's good to hear. So obviously we're going to be doing a further practice on Thursday. So it'd be good to see you join us. Hopefully you can get a little bit further than 20 minutes. But commiserations to hear that you went out in that fashion. But as I was saying to Silly earlier on, Bahrain's a nasty track, and when it catches you, you don't have much of an opportunity to save yourself.
No, unfortunately, I've fallen victim to it there, and I didn't get much further in Australia either, so 3rd time lucky.
That's the way to look at it. So you're just going to spend the rest of the session watching your brother and annoying him from the pit wall?
Well, what else are little brothers for, man?
Exactly.
Oh, this Ferrari does sound like it's got a fantastic team spirit. I'm absolutely loving it. But thanks very much for your time, Little Hayes. I'll let you get on and go annoy Big Hayes.
Cheers, guys. Loving the stream.
Oh, thanks very much for the support. You take care, mate.
You too. See you later.
It's absolutely fantastic to hear that team spirit at Ferrari. What a team they've got.
Indeed, yeah. That's why I'm so excited to hopefully to join them in the near future.
So you're going to become bigger, Hayes?
I think I'll just be me. A man of my age shouldn't be bigger Hayes. Maybe I'll be Old Hayes.
Old Hayes, yeah, that's got a ring to it. We have Goblins just set a 127.3 to go top of the standings. Fade 9 thousandths of a second behind him.
Crikey! And
that's close.
Yeah, both on the soft tyre. Goblin's sandbagging.
I think 100%. They're all sandbagging.
Well, I've got Goblin's sector, time trial time here. He's done a 126.0, so unless that was an absolute fluke, he's definitely sandbagging.
One thing we'll have to take away from the time trials, I believe, is your ERS is always on full outlet and your fuel mode will be on maximum, which you don't get in the practice sessions. So the cars will be a little bit slower
very true.
than their time trial sessions.
That is very true. That's something that I didn't think of.
Stadium is currently on an outlap. Nexus is going for another one. See, this is what's riled these boys up, is Goblin and Fade have taken the top 2 spots, and now I think we're going to see these boys light the fireworks.
Indeed, and they've got to be careful, because if Goblin is that quick, he's third in the championship at the moment on 15 points after the first race. He could end up taking the championship lead off of Nexus here if Nexus can't pull something out of the bag.
This is very true. It's even though there's only been one race, it's close between all these drivers. And yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. That was Stadium. Sorry?
It's as close as the points will allow.
Exactly, and I believe the season, as much as we think I've got Nexus on for the title, it's going to be tight. It's going to be really tight. Consistency is going to be key, as we've got Stadium locking up into the first hairpin.
Are we really doing predictions already?
Well, if you don't, then what's the point in rolling the dice?
I'm gonna go with Fade then.
So we've got Fade, we've got Nexus. I mean, I would also throw Stadium in there. There's about 5 or 6 drivers you could basically put in for the title at the moment. It's just a case of will the races go their way, and if they get the distance.
Exactly, that's a very good point, because Fade got caught out by the rain in the Australian qualifying yesterday.
Yep, Stadium got caught out by some kind of turn 1 incident. Weasel, he's a little bit off the pace today, but he just had an unlucky run. Blaine as well, another one with an unlucky run. So
indeed, and we haven't seen much from Blaine today.
No, we haven't. He's sitting back. Same with Welshie. I'm surprised to see him right back at the tail end of the grid this evening.
Yeah, well, as we discussed earlier, Welsh already told us that he's just doing tyre stints and wanting to work out how best to make a strategy for next Sunday.
This is a very true point, and I'll tell you something, if he manages to pull off a 1:29.6 as an average race time, I think he'll be on for a good race.
Yeah, I agree. Especially on heavy fuel. He's doing another 7 laps on soft tyres. I felt like the last time we were talking about Welshie, I'd said exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I think he is just hammering it out in the soft tyres. I was expecting him to be on the mediums, but we do still have 30 minutes of this practice session left, so there's a big possibility he can switch his tyres.
Sorry, his best lap was set on a set of super softs that had done 7 laps. He's currently on the hards. He's on his 3rd lap of the stint on the hards.
So he is pushing it on the hards. That's good. So he's on the long run. Stadium didn't improve on his last lap, but he is maybe just trying to do a long run on the softs instead of trying to do a fast lap. And he's locking up badly at the moment. The car looks really unbalanced.
I did notice earlier he must be changing settings, because in his first couple of runs he was sliding the back end a lot, very low grip.
Now he seems to have a lot of front braking force at the moment, and almost every single corner he's going into, there's puffs of white smoke coming from the front of that Williams, and the tyres will not be happy about it.
Well, he's just got to find the balance, hasn't he? Because this is a very pointy track. You need that front end to get into the corner as soon as possible.
It's basically it. You're bang on right. You need to point yourself into the corner, and you need to have that oomph coming out of them. That is where you'll win at Bahrain, basically, is being able to point the car in and the oomph of coming out. Yes, it's got a couple of long straights, but they are not going to win you this race.
No, sector two is what wins you anybody the race here, or even to get the fastest lap. You've got to nail that sector, because you can lose so much time if you're just a smidgen offline or miss a single apex in sector 2.
That's exactly right, and I have a feeling that Big Hayes must have been listening in on the conversation we had with his little brother, and he's currently gone 4th with 2 tenths off the pace as he comes back into the pits. So that was a hot lap on the softs for Big Hayes.
Well, he's already got 1 up because he hasn't binned it into a wall yet, and I will add the yet part.
You know it'd be true. As we're just on board with Boandy at the moment, he's just looking consistent. He's wanting that at the moment. I don't think he's out for any blinders. He's just wanting a safe and easy setting. We've got yellow flags, but I believe that's for slower drivers ahead.
Yeah, I agree. Brandy's just taking it easy. doing some runs, getting a feel for what those tyres can do, what it feels like in heavy fuel.
Yep.
I don't see Brandy going towards anywhere near the top of the timing charts today.
Oh, absolutely not. Unless in the last, 10 minutes he decides to go light fuel load in a brand new set of softs. I think you're right. He's going to be happy where he is.
I don't think he will do that. I think he'll do that privately. I don't think he'll do that in front of Goblin and Fade and that.
Well, we'll see what happens because we still have second practice on Thursday. We know the drivers will be wanting to show off at that point before the qualifying session on Sunday. So I think that's where we're going to see the true times. The drivers will have more practice at the circuit. They'll have fine-tuned their setups over those, in between now and then. I think we will see faster times on Thursday. It's just at the moment they're still honing in. As you said, a lot of them have just finished work. They're tired. They had a long stint yesterday. There's a lot of racing in 2 days.
Indeed, yeah, and I've noticed quite a few of these boys that are on my Steam friends driving Bahrain quite a lot today as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, I believe I was working, so 10:30 in the morning my time would have been 9:30 back home. Blandy was sweating it on the time trials around Bahrain. He lives a life of no chill.
Yeah, massive respect for the ability to sit there and just grind the way that he has.
Oh, he's committed, we'll give him that one. As I'm just following Blaine at the moment, it does look like he's on a long stint at the moment with the medium tyres. So we're not going to expect anything blistering from Blaine. His fastest is a 1:29.535 according to his dashboard. Lovely that you can see that these days. All the highlights on the dashboard from the cars as you're following along. Caparaz is having a nice little session at the moment. He's been genuinely mistake-free. He's only 2 seconds off the pace. He's out in the softs at the moment.
Did a faster lap than Welshie.
He has. I do believe his confidence took a knock after the incidents in Australia. It was generally extremely quiet in that race up until the end when he had the unfortunate second safety car incident. But it's good to see that he's just enjoying it by the looks of things. He's getting used to the car as he wipes out the 150-metre braking boards down the back straight, getting out of the way of everybody else. Yeah,
fair play to him. He did what we spoke about yesterday then, because he definitely got out of the way of the faster drivers there.
Yeah, it's good to see that spatial awareness of him on track. It's good to see. I think he's going to come along quite well. As I said, mistakes were made. Unfortunately, ended a couple of races prematurely for some of the drivers, but yeah, good to see him being quite consistent. And
I didn't see. Did he take all of the boards out?
He just took the 150 out, so anyone braking at that point is not going to have a clue.
Yeah, I was going to say it's easy if you've got the guideline on the track, but if you don't and you're using the marker boards to actually brake, that's going to be interesting going into that corner if you're sweating it.
Exactly. Especially you're doing their 200 mile an hour, you're just like, hold on a minute, where's the boards gone?
I thought my braking point was around here somewhere. Oh, it's over in the stadium. Oh, no, actually, no. There's a bit. There's another bit.
Yeah.
There's a couple of bits over there.
Oops, too late. On board with Welshie, he's just sweating on the long run right now. He's looking at the second part of his race on Sunday on the hard tyre. I think he's
currently 7 laps into his stint.
Yep, he's being chased by Nexus at the moment. That's ridiculous. 0.021 seconds behind the leader is Nexus.
Yeah, very, very skilled, and he's got Fade in between them.
It's I'd like to say, if qualifying ends like that for the top 6, I mean, we've got the top 10 all within a second of each other. That's how close this racing is.
Yeah, and it's a wide track going into the first corner, which has actually been named after Michael Schumacher after he had his skiing accident back in 2014, I believe. Oh. Only corner on the track which has actually got a name. The rest are all just numbers.
Ah, well, that's a rightful tribute. That really is. Michael Schumacher, an absolute legend, 7 times German world champion. You know, an idol of my time growing up watching the sport. That's for sure.
Not without his controversies, but still can't take away from the fact that he is an outstanding Formula 1 driver.
Absolutely. He's, Ferrari wouldn't be where they are especially in this modern era without the likes of Michael Schumacher. So, as you said, driver with controversies. A lot of them had them. You know, the late great Ayrton Senna, he had his. Niki Lauda, they all had their, you know, their ups, their downs. But you're totally right. Michael Schumacher, an absolute legend of the sport, and you know. It's kind of a shame to see his records being smashed these days by Lewis Hamilton, but he even said himself, you know, the records are there to be broken. So,
Indeed, and as a Lewis Hamilton fanboy, I'm happy that it's Hamilton that's doing it.
You would say that.
Well, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, it's true, but no matter how many times his records get broken, his legacy will go down in the name of the sport. You know, there's no denying that.
It's the records are a difficult thing to acknowledge, really. I mean, you could argue. I mean, there's so many ways you could argue that records, you can't compare them, because Michael Schumacher's in his era, he drove less races than the current Formula One, but they had spare cars. They had a third car, so every time he crashed out, he would jump in a third car, so he finished more races than potentially he could have.
This is very true, yeah. And
there's so many ifs, ands, and buts that have changed because the sport has changed so much. But one thing you can't take away from Michael Schumacher is his ability to do a 2-hour-long race of one of the hardest circuits in one of the hottest countries, and then take off his gear, put on some shorts, and go running for 3 hours because he just wants to get his cardio up. And that's what's changed, and nobody else can do anything, I don't think, to Formula One in that way.
Yeah,
because now these drivers are athletes.
Oh, exactly that. I mean, he put the staple down right there. I mean, we had this discussion, I believe, in the last race about the drivers being athletes, and you're spot on. Schumacher was an absolute. He was a machine, and it's good to see that Mick is finally in the sport. You know, current F2 champion, moved up to the Haas team. Unfortunately, the teammate of Nikita Mazepin. Not a big fan of his, as you can probably tell, but it's good to see him in the sport.
Did you just swear?
I may have.
Yeah. I thought you did.
The name that
apologies
we
for the language there. From now on, it's just known as the M word.
Yeah, the M word.
Oh, there's a big pile up there with the AlphaTauri trying to get out of the way of the Renault, but just beaching itself on turn one.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Nexus came out the pits at the exact wrong time there. But just noticing that Nexus has gone faster with a 1:27.149. So he's a tenth and a half up on Goblin. I knew this would happen. There's no such thing as long distance running for these boys. There's just fast lap, fast lap, fast lap. But they're not.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting now to see if Goblin comes in for a change of tyres, because he's on the mediums at the moment, 5 laps in to a stint. So is he going to want to take that away at the end of this qualifying practice sessions?
I mean, they've still got 19 minutes left, so we could possibly still do another 10 minutes on those tyres, get the most out of them, get all the data you can from them before switching onto Sauce for a blitzing run towards the end of the session.
Exactly, yeah. I believe Fade might be coming out soon as well.
Oh.
He's going to want to try and go for that.
I think so as well. Hayes is already out. I do believe he's on a long run. Stadium's in the pits now. He might switch up to a faster run, though he has done quite a bit. It's going to be fun to watch. We're going to go nip back down to Welshie, because he's now got another set of hards on, I believe, as he's back out.
He's still on the same set of hards.
Is it still the same set? He must have just fueled up the car then.
Yeah, still the same set. It's the 8-lap old hard tyres.
Yeah, you're right. They don't have the shine, so he's just pressing on with that. Again, he probably forgot to increase his fuel load for the session. But on he goes. He's just going to be consistent. He wants to see what he can get out of that car and that setup. That's good of him. Caparaz is still just doing his thing on the mediums. Still sitting there in 15th place at the moment. 2.3 seconds off the pace, but he's actually not too far behind Blaine, who, by the looks of things, has switched onto a pair of softs. And it looks like he is going for it.
Let's see if he can keep his front wing today.
Yeah, indeed. It looks like he's about to start a flying lap. That's sector 3 times into the 3 minutes, so it looks like he was backing off, letting some traffic through. So we're going to follow him on board as he goes through his fast lap. He's got the DRS wide open, he's got his ERS wide open, he's absolutely hammering it down that back straight. Well, the start-finish straight, I should say. Nice and clean through the first turn, and the second. Beautiful. DRS open. Yep. Let's see if he nails his braking point down here at the right-hander. Oh, he's beautiful. He's kissed that perfectly. He's ran that exactly where he wants it. In here, down a gear, down 2 gears, down 2. Oh, smooth as you like, down to second.
Very tidy.
So it's a good first sector from Blaine as we're into sector 2. As he brakes hard, this is really hard. If you start locking up that inside left wheel down there, you can be in a lot of trouble for running wide. But
that was very smooth though.
Yeah, he nailed that absolutely perfect to the braking point. Didn't lock up, down to 4th gear around here. Yep. Oh, on the button. This is gonna be a good lap from Blaine, I feel. Does have some slower traffic up ahead by the looks of things. Yep.
They've moved right out of the way.
He's gone wide. I don't know if that'll count.
We're about to find out as he opens the DRS to finish the lap off. And he goes fourth, 127.367.
Fantastic lap from Blaine. He must have just kept that inside the limits as he ran wide there, so good on him, but there's time still to be made there, I think, kind of at start of the 3rd sector. But nice lap from Blaine, very nice lap indeed. Fade is now also on a fast lap. Let's follow on board with Fade. Yes, he's going for a fast lap. This should be interesting to watch. Currently 3rd position with just under 2/10 off the pace. He locks up going into the right-hander there. Smoke bellowing off that front right tyre. Oh, he only drops 1 gear around there. He's absolutely screaming the head off that Haas. Oh, big lock up again going into the right-hander into that hairpin. Now let's see if we can keep the balance of the car as he comes down into this left-hander. Oh, he does really well. Small bit of lock-up, but he loses the back end of the way out. That really compromises his exit.
Don't be doing that too often. That's going to destroy your tyres.
Exactly. He's nailed this sector though, by the looks of things, but you know, that mistake where he came out the corner and the back end just went from the car, that lost him a bit of time. I don't think he'll be able to make that back up. We've got Blaine in front, he's gone wide there. So yeah, we've got Blaine.
That's exactly where Blaine went wide though.
Yep. I think the Red Bull team principal there has just went home a bit early. With his stand-in driver. An improvement from Fade. Yeah, an improvement. He's still just under a 10th off of Nexus though.
Proving that Nexus still has got the pace.
He does.
Even on a different circuit.
Yeah, this is going to be fun to watch. We've got Ben Hayes in track who's saying, imagine making it this far into the session without crashing a bunch of rookies.
Exactly, Ben, because at least we'd have a little bit more to talk about.
Exactly. Thanks for giving us, you know, some good content to go with.
But at least we have had one accident today. King of Kart binning it into the wall.
I do believe that is Ben Hayes.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's Little Hayes. So I think inadvertently he's just taken the mick out of himself.
There we go. Well done, Ben.
On board with Goblin in 3rd at the moment. I believe he's on the mediums, so this will not be an overall fastest lap, but
he's still on an 8-lap stint currently.
Yep.
Still on them mediums.
Oh, we've lost Blaine. We've lost Blaine somewhere.
He must have just been trying to push a little bit too much there. I didn't see that, sadly.
I'm not seeing any yellow flags on the onboards. Oh, that's brutal. That's the last thing he wanted was this session to end early, but it will be a 4th place at the moment. Still just over 10 minutes left in the session. Running on board with I'm Stadium. He's on his outlap. He's on a brand new set of softs by the looks of things. Oh, they do look like an older set. I'll just have a quick look to see. He's had 2 laps on these softs. Anyone on any fresh tyres at the moment? Pure Grief is on fresh tyres. Simpans is also on a set of fresh softs. Paul Gulba, fresh softs. Caparaz has moved on to some fresh softs, so you might be going for a fast one. Welsh has gone into some fresh mediums, and he's on his outlap right now. Bland is in the pits with some fresh mediums on as well, and Nexus is on an outlap with fresh softs. So they're doing it. They're going for the last.
I've finds the Mercedes driver. Blake, who's just retired from the session. What happened, Blake?
I lost the back end going into the last sector. As I went into the entry of just after you come off the fast straight, I just took a completely wrong line, which just compromised me in the uphill section.
Yeah.
And I lost it. I thought I saved it, and then next thing you know, the walls come in. I definitely feel like there's 3/10 I can shave off that soft lap run time.
I was about to say there, Blaine, it looked like your confidence was really starting to grow coming the end of the session there. It looked like obviously you started off on a longer run, which
I started off on the mediums because going into the race on Sunday, I believe that I can make the soft to mediums work. So that's why I went out on the softs, and I went and did, I think it was like 15 laps on the mediums.
It's a good run.
I think I got crashed twice, I think. But that was at like the start of the run when I'm using a completely new setup and everything. So
yeah, we did see you went out from the pits, and I think it was on your outlap maybe that you dropped it somewhere and lost both end plates of your front wing.
Yeah, I dropped it on the outlap. I went back in, messed around with my setup a bit, give myself a little bit more downforce, and then went back out, did the medium run. I think it was like 12 laps on the mediums, and I was only at like 30% on my tyres, so I feel like I can run it good come Sunday. Just need some more practice.
Oh, that's it. It's unfortunate to hear that you kind of went out early. As I said, it looked like you were kind of hitting your comfort zone there. It was good to see you in the session, because it did sound like you'd literally just got in the door and fired up your system.
Literally. I finished work at, I think it was like 20 to 8.
That's
got home, jumped, and then, but...
well, so we've got the Thursday session.
It felt good. On the softs, I was hitting purple sector 1 and sector 2, but...
Well, that's good to see. As I said, you're still got Thursday. We've got the hour-long session there. So obviously, you can kind of redeem yourself, get yourself, up to speed for Sunday. I was just going to say, their Nexus has just done a 1:27.0. So he's pulled away at the end. That's your target for Thursday, then, Blaine.
I'd like to be touching the 126s. Just about. I feel like it's possible. You look at the leaderboard, there's literally like 3/10s that split like the top 6.
It's extremely close.
So
it is extremely close.
I definitely, you look down at 16th, that's like 2.3 seconds, 2.4 seconds. Like, I don't know, but all I'm going to say is my race pace is a lot better than my qualifying pace, so you'll have a treat someday.
Looking forward to it, Blaine. Thanks very much for taking the time to come up and speak to us. Again, unfortunate about the accident, but currently sat in 4th place. You're 3/10 off the fastest lap. I can say that was a pretty good session for you.
Yeah. So I've just got back from work, I'm happy with that.
Exactly, considering the circumstances. So thanks again for coming to talk to us, Blaine.
Nice one. Catch you later.
See you later.
See you later, mate. And Chazza said he's happy to talk to us as well, if you want to talk to him, Paddy.
Yeah, we'll bring him up. Let's see how he's getting on with his first session.
Hello, Chazza. Welcome to the stream. How's it going on your first run on F1 2020?
Well, where's that? Oh, sorry, I messed up there. Sorry, because I had the stream open as well, because I've been kind of reading it. Just keeping out of it. It's It's been going well so far. Kind of just getting into the setup. Been tweaking a few things. Kind of messed up using too many softs at the start, so I'm resorting to testing out back on hards again. But I'm quite happy with the setup so far. I'm aiming to try and get into the point or the third attempt, because I've been able to do it in practice back home. But at the moment, I'm kind of happy with my race pace. Places I can improve, but at the moment, I'd say I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you there, Chazza. I mean, you've literally just came in the door. You are, and this is where it's going to start confusing people. You're a Mercedes reserve driver, but you're currently covering for Red Bull this evening. And in your first run, you are just under a second off the pace, but you're in the top 10. So you can't put yourself down on that one. That's good for your first run.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Well, I've just went down to 10th then. Don't know if it's changed because I was paused out of the game. But I'm pretty happy with it. I can do better, which is the thing that's annoying me and niggling at me. But it's just, I think it's a bit of the pressure jumping off the stream. First time being on it. So just trying to show your best, and of course, trying to do that, you're going to make mistakes.
Well,
so I don't know how Nexus is doing, because my man's out here doing some crazy fast laps. But I'd say for how long we've been playing this game, I'm quite happy. And fundamentally, I'm surprised with what I've done today, to be honest.
Yeah, you're beating quite a few people that we've seen have got very good pace. We don't know how much they're sandbagging, of course, but Welsh is quite a quick guy. Weasel is a very quick driver, and we're surprised at the times that he's put up so far. So I'll take some great confidence in that. I'm Stadium is only 2 tenths faster than you, and he is a very fast driver over 1 lap. So yeah, take good credit from that.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try. I'm going to try out some different setups.
Oh, we've got an accident. We've got a Red Bull off. Red Bull is off. Scott has put it into the barrier, and that's half his front wing gone. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Now, am I meant to feel bad here, or?
I think this is commentator's curse. We've got one of the Red Bull drivers in, and the other one, we have him as well. I was following him as he put it into the wall. So he's very gingerly making his way back to the pits with half a wing, and he's not going to have much time left because we've got just under 5 minutes left in the session. So
indeed we do, yeah. So that's also a highlight to you, Chazzy, if you want to get out and do some more runs. Now's your time to do it.
Out at the moment.
How are you?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm out on hards.
Yes, indeed.
Well, we'll leave you to it then, my friend. We'll drop you back down into the Mercedes group.
That's all fine, and I hope you two well streaming it.
Thank you very much. Thanks for taking the time, Chazza. Take it easy.
It's great to hear from a new boy.
It is indeed, and he's doing well. 10th position at the moment. He's, as I said, another one who's just getting used to the car, the setup, and to see him where he is, he's ahead of Weasel. He's ahead of Welshie. He's ahead of Boandy.
Simpans is also a very consistent driver.
Yeah. And
he's middle of the pack, Simpans, pretty much, but he is very consistently middle of the pack.
This is true, and Caparaz is actually ahead of Paul Bouva, who had quite a good race in the Racing Point last week. So Caparaz just under 2 seconds off the pace, so kudos to him. I do believe Scott came into the session late. He jumped into his Red Bull late. He was kind of out on the mediums there, and unfortunately, as I've seen, he had a date with the wall. As we're watching Boandy at the moment, he's looking to go set a fast lap. I knew this was coming. I called it.
He is. He's out on the super softs, and they're only 1 lap old. So, with 3 minutes to go. Do we have anybody in the pit still? Only Scott and Paul Blava.
Yep, Stadium's in the pits
as well. Yeah.
Fade's come out for a lap as well. I think they're all going for their gunning laps right now. This
is going to be an interesting end to the stream then, boys.
Indeed. We're going to follow Boandy. Hopefully gets a fast lap. We also know what he's like at being a little bit heavy with the loud pedal. And shall we say doing a Scott. So he's going to be one to watch for this lap at the moment.
Let's hope he doesn't do a little face, little haze.
We never know. Little Hayes has just said in the chat, oh, and silly, I am not saying I am the reason you fell in love with the commentary, but Ferrari bought the master plan.
Yeah. You did give me a helping hand into the commentary seat. When I take over as team principal, I'll make sure you get a wage deduction.
Brilliant. Yes, because it was Little Hayes and yourself that had the little coming to. And Bwandy has backed off of his lap with 2 minutes remaining. I think that's going to be it for him this session. Well, she's out. He's going for a fast time. He's on the softs.
Yeah, he's done 3 laps on these soft tyres, though, so I don't think he's going to be able to get much out of them. Oh, and Weasel has retired.
Oh, no.
Did he retire on purpose, or...?
Let's go see if we've got any yellow flags anywhere on circuit. Not that I can see. Nexus is ending the session on the hards. Fade is on the softs. We're going to follow Fade for this one. We'll figure out why Weasel dropped out. Maybe he's had an accident, or maybe he's just realised there's not enough time at the end of the session to really go for another one. 11th place for Weasel then, a second off the pace. Is quicker than his teammate by 4 tenths. Welshie in 13th, so he has moved himself up the pack. Bwandy though, 14th. I feel he'll be disappointed with that result. Even though it was more of a consistent run, he was going for fast laps at the end there, and he didn't really get the most out of it. Fade, 1 tenth off of Nexus. You don't get much closer than that.
No, you don't. And Goblin looks like he's going to go out, or is he? How far on the track is he? He's only got 30 seconds left on a brand new set of super softs. Oh no, he's still in the pit. Sorry, my apologies.
Yep. Alex is coming out for a run, but the session will be coming to an end in about 20 seconds time. So that will be that, unfortunately. I don't think we're going to see any more improvements. Stadium's out. He's on the mediums. I think he's burnt through all his softs at the moment.
I would have thought the same. Yeah, he likes to pit.
The Williams, I mean, they've got to be quick at something, and it's definitely pit lanes. Oh, if he goes and locks up madly there as he backs off that lap, he pushed himself too hard there. But officially, the session is over. So these drivers should be finishing their laps and coming into the pits, and that's if they are able to follow instructions, that is. We shall see. So the notice has gone up in the channel that practice is now over.
Yeah, interesting practice session. A 127.0 from Nexus there. Great time. We won't know how great until maybe the next session or actually qualifying itself, but still, nonetheless.
Yep, and that's it. We've lost Bwandy. Bwandy's retired. I think he's just ended himself. But it is the end of the session. Nobody's going to go much quicker than that. And as you said, it's been an interesting to watch. With Nexus is the fastest. Fade right behind him. Goblin. Blaine, Hayes, Alex on his first run. Kudos to him. There's a lot of potential from these drivers.
Right up in the mix.
Yeah. Fantastic.
127.4. That's a steady one.
Exactly. So we're going to jump off the live camera now because that is the session at an end. It's been a pleasure, everyone watching us.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to go ahead and jump down below and go and watch the first race on our YouTube channel if you missed it.
Exactly. That would be great if you could follow us, subscribe, whatever does your thing, and we will catch you on Thursday for free practice session 2. There'll be no driver interviews today. That'll be solely for after the race. But thanks very much for joining, everybody. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you on Thursday evening. Stay safe.
Peace out, boys.
Ciao, ciao.